Welcome back to Grump's Barn for yet another thrilling fucking instalment of cleaning this bloody chassis up. The last episode of which was so dull and boring that no one even bothered to comment on it for the first time ever. I'm not surprised. Yeah, it's not the most exciting bloody thing in the world, but it has to be done, I suppose. I'm afraid. Yeah, I haven't got the teeth in it again properly. Right, so I'll let you know what I've been doing. I won't show you too much. This will only be fairly quick. I'll keep the paint at a minimum. I also had very few views for quite a while on the last one as well. But yeah, who wants to see a chassis being cleaned up? But here we go. Oh, and yeah, while I think about it, before I show you all this, look at that. I'm ripping my hand apart, replacing a fucking ABS sensor on that bloody freeloader. And I replaced it, and guess what happened to the three amigos? Yeah, fuck all. Bloody thing. But it was knackered, it wasn't reading properly. Anyway, enough of that shit. Back to this. Right, here as you can see, the front is all cleaned up. Look at that, the paint is all still on there on this front bit. Quite amazed, underneath all that crap there was paint. You can see I've only just put some rust treatment on there. There are only a few teeny little patches of surface rust and a couple of bits of bare metal by the time I'd finished with it. So I thought I'd better do it. As you can see, the side that I did first, down there covered in primer, to stop it re-rusting. This top bit hasn't been primered again yet, but the rust treatment, I put a couple of very heavy coats on there, and it's worked very well actually. You can see I've also taken off the outriggers. And again, the rear outrigger here gone. I've pushed that back up temporarily. I've only done that so that I can cut it off and use it as a template, or sort of a template, for when I make a new bit to go on here and the other side. It's the same both sides. So I thought I'd bend it back for a minute. Now I will eventually just cut it off here. As you can see, behind the rear shock mount on this side, we have quite a few holes. I knew it would probably have some because it's got this hole in the top here. I guess there are going to be some more, and as you can see, there's a dirty great one there, another over here, and then right over here at the bottom here there's a small hole there. Don't know how big the damage is going to be from that one, but I guess it would be fairly large probably, even though it doesn't look like much because there's a bit of rusty bit there, so we'll see when we clean that up. As in, take it right back to cut it out when I repair everything. And this side again, look, it's all gone in here. Not as bad as the other side. Doesn't appear to be any more damage here, but I won't tell until I clean it up properly. But for the moment, I've just taken the rust off and rust treated it, so it doesn't get any worse in the meantime. So that appears to be all the rust. I still haven't done the underside of this leg yet. I've got to get this done, and I haven't done the inside edges of them yet. That's next. I've cut out the body mounts that are hanging off here and here, and there are another couple hanging off here. I've taken those out now, so it's now completely naked. Apart, well, I say completely naked, it's still got a couple of bits bolted to it, like this is stuck on here, but I've got to put the power on so I can cut these bloody bolts out for the rear bump stop. And there's still one hanging on for the rear bump stop on the other side that needs cutting off because they're absolutely rotted solid. Yeah, so and the I've taken the gearbox cross member out as well, which is actually not in bad nick at all. Bit of surface rust, lots of crap. There's no rot in it at all, and thankfully behind it, no rot either. Well, not that I've found so far. Got a bit more cleaning up to do. I've got to move this chassis here a bit. I have to actually put it flat, a little bit higher off the ground. I've got to find things to stand it on. I'm going to use the engine stand one end, that will do for holding it up, and something else the other end, just so I can work on it at a more convenient height to do both sides. Once I've cleaned it all up and rust treated the entire thing, then I'll be whacking a coat of primer over the whole lot, which obviously a lot of the primer will have to come off again, as I said before, when I come to welding bits on it. But it's not often that you get a discovery where you're going to be welding a headstock on the end of here. Ah dear, this is going to be fun. Yeah, so there we go. It's what? Probably about 2/3 done now. So yep, it's dull, it's boring, but it needs doing. Oh, and I found that this side here is absolutely fine. The other one was blown, but it's blown in a really weird way. It's still very strong, and there isn't tons of shit in there to rake out, so I can even whack it back together and sort it out. I don't know. Once I get it back up the other way, I'll check again, see if I can crunch that back into its proper size. It just seems to have blown the outside of it. Very odd. Anyway, that's got to be sorted out. As you can see, I've still got a lot of cleaning to do on this other cross member, and the rear one as well hasn't been touched at all. The front one I have cleaned up, but as I say, it was just oil and grease and crap all over that, which has protected it. There's just a teeny bit of rust here and there. There's more rust treatment than there needs to be on there. I just slapped it on quickly. But yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there slowly, as ever. There's always other things need bloody doing. Right, that's it for now. More to come tomorrow when I've got this thing flat and I've cleaned up the other bits. See you then. Oh, just one more thing before I forget. This rear axle I'm going to be using is going to need a little bit of work. It's going to need something extra as well that I didn't even count on. Look on the floor there. You can see all the oil from it. Yep, it's been sitting there pointing down for all this time, and it's slowly been leaking all the oil out from the pinion fucking oil seal. So that's another job I'll have to do. Wonderful, isn't it? But there again, I've got to clean this all up anyway. I've no doubt there'll be lots of other jobs that will need doing on it. Like it needs a new A-frame ball joint as well. That's buggered. I'll be putting all new brake lines and stuff on it, I suppose. Everything's going to need a damn good clean up. See what's underneath all this. Gonna have fun getting those rear springs off. Obviously everything's rotted in as per usual. But well, hey ho. One of those jobs that's going to need doing. New rear shocks obviously as well. Fuck knows what state the rear brakes are in. We will find out. But that's a job for another day. Got to get this chassis done first. Once the chassis is ready, then I can start on the back axle. Get that sorted out. And I can also weld on the framework for the headstock on the front here. It's all going to be fun. I've got all the metal for the headstock. I hope I've got enough metal for the framework, because the price of metal, for some strange reason, has gone through the fucking roof again. I wonder why. Nah, I ain't got a clue. Anywho, yep, that's enough of that for the minute. Back again tomorrow. Bye. Right, well, here we go. Back again. Now I've given it all a good clean off. Got all the rust off. Well, nearly all. A couple of teeny little bits on there going over again. But it's all been rust treated. It may need a second coat of this. We shall see. But for now, that is it. Got one little bit on the back I still need to do, but that's underneath it at the moment. So I'll have to wait till I flipped it back over again. And I won't be doing that until I've probably given it another rust treatment. We shall see. Excuse me. Got dust in the bloody air from earlier. Right, well, that's me done for today. And that's the end of this particular video, so you won't need to suffer any longer. Right. The next one should be a bit more interesting, because I won't film until I am fixing the holes in the back, the new plating back up. So it'll be a bit more exciting than watching fucking rust treatment dry and die. Yes, the rust die and the treatment dry. Yeah, that's the one. Fuck me. Alright, anyway, that's it for now. Take care, people, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.